Shut up and refill more popcorn. Shut up and refill more popcorn.
Waka waka, guys. Welcome back to another Extra Butter episode. This one with a little bit of a twist. This is a Bizarro Poppin My Movie Cherry, where the guest pops the movie cherry. And the guest, as always, this time of the month is good friend of the show, Mr. CJ Emanuel. What is up, sir?
What's going on? What's going on, man? It's good to be here, man. Thanks for having me once again, bro. What's going on?
We'll cue the cheers and the applause.
Oh, hold on.
You got it.
Say no more. Hold on. Oh, wow. You too good. Thank you so much. Thank you.
There'd be some editing right there.
Yeah. Thank you so much.
So what's up? The last time we did an Extra Butter episode, since then, I made the trip up to San Antone, hit up a couple of open mics that you told me were going on during the time. One of them I wanted to hit up. They didn't have one going on, the LOL Showcase or Comedy Club, but I hit up Elbow Room and I hit up Upstage Comedy Club. They're on the what would be the east side, northeast side?
Technically northeast side, kind of.
Yeah,
like right in the Alamo Heights area. If you're, those of you who are familiar with San Antonio, it's like right off of if you're on 410 going like towards 35, you take the Alamo Heights. It's like right there. Yeah. Out in the hood, well, out in the northeast. Yes, kind of.
Yeah. And I had a blast. I had fun. I got the itch scratched for a little bit. I'm trying to get my bearings, watching the recordings of myself and seeing where I can improve, where I could kind of tell where I stumbled a bit. Not getting a large crowd reaction kind of does not throw a wrench and everything, but it kind of like, okay, we're still drugging. I just hit a twig. It's all good.
Yeah.
But yeah, man, I the feeling being back and just knowing, okay, I can do better next time. It's like I know I can do better, and if not, I'm gonna try and salt and pepper the topics I brought up and everything. Right. I haven't really put them on YouTube. Yeah, YouTube. But I'm still, I'm writing down notes on my phone. I'm when I have time and I try and structure something, maybe see how that would sound, and listen to a lot of comedians on Joe Rogan, and my go-to is Joey Diaz. Joey Diaz on his podcast right now, the Check-In, where he talks to Lee. He's got pointers and stuff, and it's almost like sitting under the learning tree, listening from everybody, but yeah, man, that was a lot of fun. I appreciate you, showing me everything, meeting the people out there and everybody. Saw Drew, who was on the first comic shop / Extra Butter. We reviewed the Ready to Rumble. And
you and me reviewed Ready to Rumble. I was busting his chops, breaking his balls a little bit about that when we recorded with another friend of mine, Don Robles and stuff. I was like, yeah, somebody listened to the wrong or watched the wrong damn movie and stuff. We turned beat red. It was funny, man. But shout out, man.
That was shout out, and that was a lot of fun. And I'm looking forward to the next time. And next time, it's gonna be under the traveling. Like I'll probably make the trip up there and the trip back. And,
yeah, man. And set up to record an episode. Record some pod in person too. That'd be dope.
Yeah, definitely. You have that Rodecaster. I got my Shure microphone where I can hook up XLR cables to it. I got XLR cables.
Okay, cool.
And extra microphone and whatnot, headphones.
Yeah, I picked up two XLR mics myself. A couple cheapies, but it was either that I was saving up for one of the short, like what you have, but that was like another $300 away. I was like, fuck it, let me just get a couple of cheapies that are fully equipped, everything set up, That
I
way
think
I can completely be mobile now.
I think I got mine. Some of the stuff I got, I went to Sam Ash there in San Antonio, the north side by the Best Buy and North Star Mall. And
Oh,
then
Sam.
this one, I think I bought this at the music store right there on. Oh my goodness, right there by the Fox station. There's like a music store
Oh,
there. I
yeah,
can't think.
yeah. Okay.
Yeah, but let's get into why we are here. What is the movie that we helped you pop your cherry on?
So I'm almost ashamed to admit that I had not seen this movie because um, this is a cult classic in a lot of ways. If you're a wrestling fan, if you're a conspiracy theory fan, and in a way, I guess if I would have watched it back when I was like 14 when this was released in theaters back in November of '88,
I was
and
one.
yeah, you were still shitting on yourself, you know. I was
Yeah.
a freshman at John Jay, you know, when this came out. So, but but as a wrestling fan, this was during I was kind of phasing out of being a wrestling fan. So even though I knew Piper and I was aware of, you know, I was kind of following WWF and NWA at the time, but I wasn't really into it like I was during when World Class, during the territory days when World Class was hot.
Mhm.
So I was transitioning into one of my dormant periods of wrestling fandom. So I wasn't, and plus we were broke as fuck, you know. So it's not like we had a lot of disposable income. So this movie wasn't really high. I actually cut grass and saved money to go see Transformers the movie a year earlier. You know,
Oh wow.
I hustled for that. I didn't hustle. I didn't spend my paper route money on to go see They Live. But you know, I kind of wish I would have had. And just over the years, I heard, you know, just hear how it's. I wrote down cheesy, but in a good way. You know what I'm saying? Just
Mm.
because it's a damn near 40-year-old movie now. You know,
Yeah,
so
it had
30
some cheesy lines.
yeah. So I wrote, but but yeah. So it was interesting watching it as an almost 50-year-old as opposed to when I was, you know, being a 14-year-old kid, kind of because I went through kind of my bad attitude years and just the conspiracy theories. I thought a lot about Ben Hameen here. I was like, I know this is probably
Right.
one of his formative years movies when he was, you know, a young buck. Because he's like a
Yeah.
little bit younger than me, you know, a little bit older than you. So he's like right at the edge of Gen X, you know. So I thought about him, you know, when I was like
Yeah.
with the conspiracy, when even before when the preacher at the beginning was talking the conspiracy stuff and you know how everything's an illusion and all that. I was like, dang,
Yeah.
I really should have watched this movie a hell of a lot earlier, you know, because it was kind of like so it was definitely his 80s an 80s a movie as you can get as far as like the right on the verge of the recession and Reaganomics was in its dying days because you know Ronald Reagan's second term was coming to an end. This was right before Bush got elected and stuff. So that took me back to that time, remembering how it was socially and politically and the climate and stuff, you know, in the country.
Yeah, man. Like, so I obviously I didn't watch it when it came out,
Right.
or did I watch it growing up? I think I watched it. I had to have been in high school. I had to been close. So I don't know if you remember the South Park episode where Jimmy and Timmy get into a fight.
Yeah. Yeah.
Uh, I think I had seen somebody. I seen a video of someone describing how they came about that scene, and they were inspired by this movie. They were inspired by the fight scene in They Live, which is even to this day still
Okay.
iconic.
Yeah.
Because I heard the other day the new Godzilla and King Kong movie took, they made those two characters fight in this movie, pay
Yeah.
homage to that fight in between Keith David and Roddy Piper's character. Keith
Yeah.
David played Frank, and Roddy played. It said Nada on the credits, but I don't think he gave his name. I think he was a man with no name.
Well, that was his. So, all right. So the origin story of this movie. So John Carpenter bought the rights to the. There's a short story and then later a comic book developed by the same dude. Ironically, the dude who invented the little beanie hat with the propellers. Remember the back? If you see like olden pictures with the kid hat with the beanie hat and the propeller, that guy invented that hat, whatever. But so he wrote like a really, really short, it's like a 1,800 word short story in this, science fiction magazine called 8 o'clock in the morning. And so Nada, so the guy's name I think was called Eric Nada in the short story or whatever. So Nada meaning nothing.
Oh, yeah.
So in that story, he was at a magic. It was a magician who hypnotized him, and while under hypnosis, he became aware of the illusion of these aliens that were subverting society for their own nefarious means and stuff. And he had until 8 o'clock the next morning because he was going to die to solve it and let the world know what the fuck was going on and shit.
Wow.
So that's pretty, yeah. So then they made a comic book off of that. So the movie is more based on the comic. Not even it was just a short comic story. The movie is more based on that, and then there's a lot of artistic license and like the Keith David character was completely created by John Carpenter and stuff.
Oh wow.
Yeah. So what's funny is that I was reading, a bunch of like facts you didn't know about They Live and stuff, YouTube videos. So Keith David's character is named Frank Armitage, right?
Yeah. Oh, I didn't get your last name, but Frank, yeah.
Yeah, Frank Armitage. And then the screenplay was written by, if you look in the beginning of the movie, it says screenplay by Frank Armitage, right?
Oh wow.
That was actually John Carpenter. So basically what he was so in his movies, so he did
like a ghost name or something.
And writing. So he would do writing, editing, scoring. And so he was like, he didn't want to come across as egomaniac and have his name all over.
Yeah.
So he would make up names to cover some of the things that he did that he didn't want to put himself on blast for. So when I saw that Frank's character was actually Frank Armitage and it's the same screenwriter, I was like, oh, that's brilliant. So that's brilliant.
Yeah. I knew he was kind of like that, where he didn't want to have his name plastered on everything, like taking a lot of credit for a lot of stuff.
Yeah, he's like,
but I didn't know. I really didn't know what that meant. Like he just, gave credit to the next guy down or what. But he created his own little aliases.
Some names, yeah.
That's badass. So yeah, I saw this movie based on that South Park clip that I saw, and I was intrigued when I dove into it. I don't know how I think it came out on AMC Fright Fest or something, and I caught it, and I was just like, I didn't. So this is the first time I've seen it from beginning to end.
See, that's the thing too. It's like when I don't like seeing a movie that I've never seen before in the middle of it. So I would like see it, flip it on, whatever. Oh shit, I see it. So I would. That's why it took me. I just saw Shawshank last year for that exact same reason. Because finally, my wife's like, "We're sitting down, I'm written it, and we're gonna watch the shit." And I finally watched that. So this is like another movie that every guy should have seen by the time they're 50 movies. So I'm just getting in a couple of months to spare. Yeah,
that's crazy. Yeah, because I've always caught it midway, like, and it's always during that scene where he's got the glasses on and he's going through his little rampage at first.
Yeah,
it's never, I remember the first time I saw, like, where did he get these glasses from, and then what's the backstory on that? And I that was what I was thinking when I watched this from beginning to end. It's like, I want to know the story of before Frank came into contact. I want to know a little bit more of this guerrilla group that's going on, like this underground rebels, who cracked the code to develop these glasses and then ultimately develop these contact lenses? Because if you remember, they get contact lenses when they make it to the rebel meeting.
Yeah. They didn't do a whole lot of exploratory into this one or whatever. So they pushed.
Yeah, I mean it's 80s movie. There's
a lot of disbelief and stuff, but at its core, it's like I said, I said cheesy, but in a good way. You know, I was entertained.
Oh yeah. I think that backstory type of stuff, it plants the seeds in people growing up and whatnot at the time,
Yeah.
who are creative minds and can create this new utopia of story that kind of plays into, and sometimes it's good, sometimes it's bad. I mean, I don't know if you ever saw, I just did the 2011 The Thing prequel. I reviewed that one on the main podcast. And you know that obviously is a prequel to the first Thing movie with Kurt Russell, and that one is another
Carpenter. Yep.
another John Carpenter movie. Yeah, that was,
Man, he was
so fucking good.
Let's give him his flowers, bro. So this
No,
dude was
for
like
real.
one
Yeah.
iconic of the 70s and 80s. One of the
Yeah.
greatest, arguably, horror movies of all time and horror movie franchise. The original Halloween, 1979, still
Yeah.
holds up. Halloween 1 and 2. I don't think he directed 2, but Halloween still holds up. It's
Yeah.
the classic horror movies and stuff. So this is who we've
Even some of
you know.
even some of his 90s stuff. I think he did a vampire movie with James Woods in the 90s. And then there was
I can't remember what he.
I know there was that one, and another, I can't think. I think it was called Vampires. Yeah, but yeah, man, he is definitely a legend in the filmmaking world.
New York, you know, once again with Kurt Russell. Kurt Russell was
Escape.
Kurt Russell was initially going to considered to be the lead in here, but Carpenter was like, he became a fan of Piper after WrestleMania 3. He was like, that's, you know, I want Piper. I want someone who doesn't.
Wow.
He wanted a new person, and he felt Piper had enough, you know, of a compelling character in him to be the lead. So it was a handpicked choice, you know.
Hell yeah. So yeah, dude, like this movie, you know, he comes in as a drifter almost, but the world now is just, everybody's trying. It almost mirrors 2024 in a way, not too bad, but
a lot of ways. Yep.
People are struggling to make a buck. Everybody who's high on the dollar is just, you know.
I mean, there ain't a homeless problem in LA, and there's, you know, like, hell, they wish they had shanty towns as nice as, you know, they had back then going on now.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Oh yeah. And so yeah, he's looking for work. He gets a little construction job. He almost like what? He kind of like leverages way in, sort of, because he sees a bunch of, you know, hired workers, Mexicans.
Yeah. I laugh when he said, "We're union," and then they cut to the Mexican guy speaking Spanish. Yeah, union my ass.
And then he meets Frank, who's also on the job, but he's kind of like, you know, he's kind of like rough on the edges, but he's like, hey, he's kind of curious about this dude. Like, hey, you know, I'll show you around, this and that. Here's the place if you need a place to crash. And then I think the dude's name was Gilbert, who was kind of
running this.
Yeah, he was being kind of sketchy, and then that kind of piqued Roddy's interest. He's kind of like, what's up with this guy over here? And you know, and if you've never seen the movie or even thought about that it was an alien movie or anything like that, your first assumptions would be that's a crack den or something. That's a drug den or something. They're making drugs, because they don't show the sunglasses in the box, but you just see stuff on the counter. You see, you just see lenses and stuff, but they see these. There's these.
Look like a trap house to you.
Yeah, I mean, it was a church. That's kind of fucked up. But the church was a ruse too. They had recordings of people singing gospels and everything, and they were out there trying to send a signal, a radio broadcast of the rebellion, telling people to wake up. You know, hey, I really think I think he talked a little bit about like dispensing all these glasses and like making the people wake up.
Yeah.
But you know, they get raided and everything burned to the ground. The preacher, and I guess he was the professor, right? The guy that was on the radio, on the television set.
The hacker. I think he's called the hacker in the movie.
Yeah.
They caught them hands from the cops, man. They caught the ass whooping.
Beat the fuck out of him. I felt bad. And then there's Roddy. He's like, well, what the fuck else what can I do except for run?
Yeah.
and he hides out for the night. Then that's when the next day he goes and looks to see what was left, finds a box of glasses, takes a pair, and then here we're the roller coaster has been on the track, and now we're getting close to the top for the ride, because the whole scenario from the moment he starts walking downtown with the glasses, he's discovering this fucking illusion that we the people are living in this world with advertisements and even currency. It's like obey, marry and reproduce, don't question authority,
follow, yep,
yeah,
yep,
and
buy more,
buy consume products, and it's so fucking wild, dude, because you ever watch a show or something and like almost like Seinfeld, like you can watch Seinfeld or something now and it still is sort of relevant in the times of today than it was 30 plus years ago.
Yep.
And some movies are just like that too, because this one's a perfect example.
Yep.
I mean, I'm not saying they should remake it, but if someone did do like a straight to sci-fi channel reimagining or something,
they can do the same resetting even in late 80s Los Angeles and still tell the same some of the same stories or shit that's going on right fucking now. Absolutely.
Yeah, dude. And holy shit, this movie goes. I was kind of bummed because I forgot that there was a chick in here. And at first she seemed like, not the spoiler alert, but it's been 36 years coming on, she's almost like, I think she was the one that snitched on that rebellion meeting later in the movie because how she turned out at the end.
Yeah, look how what she did at the end, with I don't want to spoil it for those who haven't seen it. Spend your $3.99 or go to one of your gimmick sites or whatever. It's worth it.
It's definitely worth it.
It was worth it. I was like, a lot of times we try to find a free version and stuff, but I was like, this is probably one of those ones where I gotta waive that, and just go ahead and plunk down to $4 and rent it.
Yeah,
it was worth it.
Yeah, I mean, so yeah, he finds her after he has it. So he goes in. I skipped a bunch. So he goes in, he starts seeing people. Then the cops or somebody recognize that he can see. Like, hey, we got one that can see.
Oh yeah,
they have this two-way community.
When some of the so the movie is famous for the chew bubble gum and kick ass, whatever. But he had some other gems in there. And when he put on the glasses, he saw the lady putting on makeup, whatever.
Yeah,
he said it's like putting perfume on a pig. So that's when she went to the watch and dived about.
Oh, dude, what are some? I know you have some written down. What are these lies, dude? There's cheese on top of cheese. There's a triple double layer. Oh my god, bro. Even close to the end, even close to like the climax of the film, he tells Frank about his dad who used to beat the shit out of him, and that he got tired of it, and he's like, Daddy can't hurt me no more. I'm grown, or something like
that. He said, there's hell to pay, and I ain't daddy's little boy no more.
Yeah, like what the
hold on.
80s. Yeah. Oh god.
That's tremendous.
Yes, that is tremendous.
Okay. Oh man. So what other lines did he drop, dude?
And then I wrote down that one, and then this is my favorite. He says, life's a bitch and she's in heat.
Oh yeah. Good God.
I was like, Roddy's great. He had to wrote. So I was watching different videos and stuff, and one video said that I came here to chew gum and kick some ass. I'm all out of bubble gum. That was like completely ad lib. I saw another video with John Carpenter saying that Roddy had written down a whole bunch of things that he has said in promos and stuff, and a lot of them were like, you're not fighting motherfucking Hulk Hogan and shit, but he liked to chew bubblegum one, and he said use that one and stuff. So I think it might probably be a little bit of both and stuff,
Yeah,
Roddy not necessarily sticking to the script all the time and stuff,
And that was iconic too. That was an iconic line, because I was like, and he had the shotgun in hand and everything. He got off the cops. Um, and so yeah, now he's on the run because now everybody's after his ass. So he kind of kidnaps the lady and has her drive him out of town, and then
Not only out of town, but to her crib, man. He's like,
yeah,
that was
yeah, like you remember Commando?
yeah.
I had this. I had the. I
Another
just remember.
classic. If you haven't seen that, check
Yeah,
that
that's
out.
another with Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Yeah,
Saving
Radon
his daughter.
and a
Some
very
more
young
cheesy lines.
Milano, yeah.
Yeah, cheesy lines on that one too. I like you, Sully. I kill you last. What was the other one?
My friend, he's dead tired.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, that one, and then
Yeah.
something about stop smoking when he throws the pipe in the dude's chest.
Yeah.
Oh god. And so yeah, so then he's kind of chilling, and like when you take off the glasses, you get like a little hangover because your brain is assessing all this new information, and you're trying, yeah. And so he's talking to her, they're talking, and she's kind of like still, like trying to lay down her guard and and assess the situation. And he's just kind of like, you know what, she seems like she might, be on my side. And she's already called, or she hits him over the head, and he basically breaks her window, falls literally like what, 2 or 3 stories down.
Threw his ass out. She shoved his ass out. Yeah.
Yeah. And he's almost left for dead. She's and at the time the audience is like, I think he told her put the glasses on or something, and she's and she doesn't put them on, but the audience sees like she may have done it because she's looking down and they were left on the ground. And then when we see her later on at the meeting, it's almost like, okay, now she's converted, or it's like now she's opened her eyes.
Yeah.
And now she's on our side. Now, then there was a little bit of like, because he kind of went up to her like, hey, Holly, hey, I thought I killed you, that whole little interaction. But then it's interrupted, and I'm pretty sure it's because that bitch was the mole. You know what I mean?
She looked suspect to me in the beginning because she had the evil lady blue eyes and stuff, man. I was like,
yeah, no bitch that looks like that is on the good side.
She ended up playing Evil Lynn in the 80s Masters of the Universe movie with Dolph Lundgren as He-Man and Frank Langella.
Oh, for real?
Yeah, so she was Evil Lynn. I was like,
oh wow.
Okay. Yeah. Oh man, we did kind of glossed over the fight scene, bro, but
it was like what, 5-10 minutes?
Yeah, it was like a 5-minute fight scene. So between Nada and Frank, so Nada's trying to say, "Hey, look, man." So Frank finds Nada. He says, "Look, man, I got you 1 week's paycheck. It's the best I can do." Looking out for his boy, put some cash in his pocket, and he's like, "Hey." So then Nada comes and says, "Hey, man, look at these glasses, man. Look through these glasses." And
like, get the fuck away. He wasn't having it.
Of I've got the truth right in your hand. All you got to do is open your eyes or open the book or look, and you're fighting me just as hard to stay blind. I thought that was fucking brilliant. So they're literally fighting. He's literally fighting so he can see what's really going on and shit. And he's
because he really doesn't want.
I got security. I'm just trying to just make my way through this. A lot of people will probably feel like, how like Cypher and the Matrix is like the turncoat, but a lot of people kind of be like, well,
I don't want to fucking be in this world. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. I know it's all a bunch of bullshit, but let me at least be comfortable in this bullshit, And I'll pretend I'm blind, So it's kind of like that. So I thought that was a really brilliant, and this fight scene has made all kinds of like best movie fight scenes in history type lists and stuff like that.
Like I said, it's iconic. It is iconic.
So that fight scene was, like I said, it was inspirational to other forms of entertainment, South Park and all that. Carpenter himself was inspired by, I think it was called The Thin Man, the fight scene with John Wayne in it. So he was kind of inspired off of that lengthy fight scene, and that's another iconic fight scene in movie history too. So,
wow.
There's always borrowing, there's always borrowing inspiration and flipping stuff. So yeah, I wanted to just kind of point out that the brilliance and the meaning of that. They're literally fighting to, defend. Hey, I'm fighting to show you the truth. I'm fighting to stay blind from the truth. I don't want to see the truth. I want to just make my way through it and leave me the fuck alone.
And After a
There's
5-minute ass
good
beating,
bumps in there. Good bumps in there. I was like, this is a good match. You know, this is
there
better
was
than
nut
a lot
shots.
of
There
AEW
was,
matches, bro. You know,
and
nothing.
what's funny is the Roddy Piper at the end of it is the one that looks all fucked up, worse than
Yeah,
Keith David's character.
yeah.
But yeah, so he finally
He
puts the
took more
glasses
bumps
on
for
and
Keith David than he did again for Hulk Hogan. It seemed like, you know.
just about, yeah. And so yeah, so now they're both on the same side. They're hiding out. That Gilbert guy, I don't know how he shows up, but he recognizes Frank and he goes up to him and tells him, "Hey, you're not alone. There's a place. I fucking see what you see. I'm the motherfucker that's basically part of the awakening." And we see this group of people, almost like a militia of some ways. And like I said, there's parallels. Technically these people are on the right side, but people nowadays in the same scenario, they think they're on the wrong side, whether they are or not.
Yeah.
They're not fighting aliens, they're fighting governments or whatnot. But you know, and so that's what these people are doing, and they get jumped. And and this was one of the things I remembered from the first time I watched the movie. I was always remember, how the fuck did they go from that place to the spaceship? I thought they were on the spaceship at the end. They weren't.
Oh, when they showed the spaceport or whatever. Yeah.
Yeah. So, but they're technically underneath a news station building, right?
That's where
I guess
the communication signal that was sending all the subliminal messages and stuff. It was
yeah,
based out.
it looked like an underground bunker type of deal. And I don't know, have you ever? I know you listen to Talk Is Jericho. Have you ever heard of the podcast called Escaping Denver? About a few years ago, he had those people on there. It's a podcast, but it's like a radio show. You know how the the old school, like the Lone Ranger.
Blog
Hey,
Talk? Oh, I thought you were talking like Blog Talk Radio, like that. Or you talking even before that? Okay,
it's
yeah,
like
back in the day
people.
before TV. You talking about like that?
Yes. So it was a show, actors, but you close your eyes, you visualize what actions are being made or
Yeah,
whatnot.
I think I do remember
And
him talking about or talking with those. That does sound familiar now that you describe it like that.
it's called, for the people out there, it's called Escaping Denver. And right now, I think they're on season 3. It's been about 3. Yeah, been about 2-3 years. Very interesting. They're not that long. It's basically these. I'll give you the short version. These people who've been kidnapped at the Denver airport, who are in some kind of underground bunker, who've had experiments done to them. They somehow have a cell phone that they record their conversations on. They record themselves like diary logs type of stuff in the hopes of finding a way to send them out to the world, like uploading up to, I guess, to a Dropbox or something. I don't know. Or an emailing it to like a news station email. I don't know. And I was getting those vibes here because of the underground bunker looking stuff. Like they were going through, and they went and saw there was a like a ceremony, like a banquet of some kind. Can't talk.
Oh yeah,
And then
talking about
the spaceport where it's like basically a teleportation pad that sends them to
nonstop to the Andromeda galaxy. That type of shit.
Yeah.
I was
And then the dude, so that the homeless dude, one of the homeless shanty people that throughout the whole movie been talking like there's stuff going on. I don't know. I forget what his name was in the movie, but we see him here all cleaned up and he's joined the other side. He's, getting a taste of the good life, and he sees these guys. He recognizes them. Hey guys, what's up? Let me give you the grand tour. And I think he said the reasoning was that why, if they're going to be here, they're here. They're in charge of everything. Why not be on the winning team? Sell your soul for a little bit of green.
In the credits, he's just Drifter.
And,
they didn't have a lot of names. There weren't a lot of people who had names. You had Black Junkie. You had well-dressed, Arab clerk. Naked lady.
Oh.
You know what I'm saying? There wasn't a whole lot of.
Oh yeah. Oh, at the very end.
Yeah.
Because that. Yeah. Once, so they figured there's got to be some sort of radio sending out these signals, kind of like making these people see, what they want them to see.
Yeah.
And he takes it out. They all, I mean, ultimately they all die. Spoiler alert: they all die. Keith gets capped by Holly, who then we
Man.
find out is a bitch. Nada shoots her.
Eyes. Can't trust those eyes.
Yeah, Nada shoots her, kills her, goes and destroys the satellite before he gets taken out by the helicopter shooter. And then the sad thing is they die, but they succeed.
How does he go out? How does he go out?
Oh yeah, he flips them off.
Middle finger. He went out like Austin. So Austin stole his gimmick. Yeah.
And so yeah, so they succeed, and now maybe it's just this California area that people see that, oh shit, you know, the chick that we were just talking about, the naked chick, she's banging a dude that's like full alien. The anchors, the news anchors are alien. The people at the bar are alien. People are like, what the fuck? Like, and so who knows what the future holds in this universe, if there ever will be a sequel or a continuation. Maybe there was an uprising. Maybe there was a war and people didn't succeed. The human race is now living like Terminators in the underground versus, you know, the machines, except for the machines are aliens because they world leaders. They're top, you know, billionaire company CEOs and everything. So
this movie kind of had a little bit of 1984 vibe, a little bit of invasion of the Body Snatchers, and then it kind of got schlocky, kind of Rambo, you know, with it mowing down motherfuckers, you know.
They weren't getting shot or nothing, but they were fucking up everything.
Yeah.
It's an awesome 80s movie, yes, but it's also an awesome movie in the sense of, hey, America, open your eyes a little bit. You know, don't be afraid to question authority in the sense of, don't go all fucking crazy Rambo style, but you know, question who you're putting in office in a way. You know what I mean?
Yep. So don't be afraid to be open to anything, but do your own. I mean, these days you really have to do your own research. You really have to, and research more than just looking at a headline or reading
or TikTok video.
Yeah, or listen to a video and stuff. But really, like digging in, you know, kind of opening that third eye for those of you who believe in, you know, the mysticism and all that stuff. You know, so I thought it was an excellent. I thought it was an excellent story, and even though if you want to. The acting was bad and the script was sucked, and all that shit was true. You know, it's not it's not an Oscar-worthy performance, but it's definitely a great
cult classic
movie. It's a cult classic. It's definitely earned that status. If I was Dave Meltzer, I would give it 5 stars. You know what I'm saying? I give it 5. I don't know.
If I was Billy Bob, I give it a 10, a fucking 10.
Give it a 10 out of 10.
This is definitely one of those movies. It's like the message overpowers, you know, the surface stuff. Like you said, the acting and the dialogue and this and that. But it's still it's a badass movie. You know, I loved it. I still love it. What will you be watching this movie again in the future?
Oh yeah, I would definitely watch this again for sure. Yep. This one gets I'm trying to think of something that can that I can use. Something I don't fucking know. I'll stick with stars so I can think of something else. I'm kind of in Iran right now, you know. All right, I'll give it 5 Iranian tobaccos. How about that? You know, I'll just go with that. You know.
So that's gonna be it for this episode of Extra Butter. Keeping on with the theme of wrestling with my buddy here, CJ. Don't forget, don't sleep on Comic Chops, already out.
Yes, thank you, man. Yeah, check out. So episode 1 is So it was episode 1 was supposed to be just me and Nicho talking comedy, podcasting, and all that. But it was so good, I ended up having to make it 2 episodes. So I'm putting the finishing touches on episode 2. But episode 1 is out. Please go out and check it out on all your podcast providers, Apple, Spotify, etc. It's also on my YouTube channel at CJ Tells Jokes. If you want to listen to the audio but have it on YouTube, I do that from time to time if I'm not listening to a podcast. It's does the same thing, man. And like, subscribe, give me your feedback, tell me what you think, man. And there's more episodes in the can. That's a technical term for us professional amateur podcasters. So yeah, so just go ahead and check out that episode. Shout out to K100 fans, and if you're a K100 or brand fan and you're here listening and watching us, thanks for the love. Appreciate that. Appreciate the little ball busting and shout out on the intro.
Yeah.
Last not this past episode that just came out, but the episode before. Yeah, that was a lot of fun, man. So
yeah, I popped when I heard that, and I think I reached out to you. I was like, "Hey, did you hear that?" That's
that's gonna be my cold open for episode 2. So
yeah, that I think we've talked about it before. The K100 guys, they appreciate the patronage. They appreciate the fans coming on to for the roundtables. If you're not on the Patreon, it's the $25 and up tiers. You get to do these roundtables, whether they're questions or just a hangout session.
Yeah,
there wasn't a lot of us there.
Yeah, it was fun, man. We just talked a lot of shit. It's funny, him and Disco were arguing, and Disco
yeah,
left.
Yeah, I think he got kind of mad at me. I didn't realize that it almost sounded like he kind of he was reading something. He's like, "I can hear you," and I was like, "Oh shit, I was in the moment." I was like, "Hey, what's up?"
They were already bickering, they were bickering from the jump, man. And like, I think another segment before that, they had already started bickering by the time we got on. So it was fun, man. It was interesting, entertaining. Yeah. And so it was just a handful of us, diehard Mark fans, and I say that as a compliment, Mark great again, you know what I'm saying? I'm used to taking offensive words and spinning them around. I have quite the experience, I tell you. So it's a lot of fun, man, interacting with Conan, Disco, and Joe, and the other K100 fans. So if you're already on the tier, man, sign up. The K100 music, those are my favorite, bro. And so if you're
a good listener,
next, if you're a Chicago fan, or even if you're not, and just go down the rabbit hole now and listen to some of the greatest hits. I watched one of the documentaries about the history of the group to kind of get a understanding of them. And then I was like, "Oh, these motherfuckers did have some hits. They had a lot of hits, man. They did."
Yeah, I didn't know if you played their records backwards, you actually hear Satan. That's a Little Nicky reference. Go check out Little Nicky to get. Have you ever seen that movie, Little Nicky?
Oh God, that's a terrible abomination of. That movie's terrible.
Oh yeah. We'll save that for one of these future episodes.
Yeah, we might. So so I got some friends of mine that are interested in either doing extra butter or something. So just be on the lookout. I'll get with you.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
So there's some interest in wanting to do what we do here. So this is a lot.
They do know I'm not that Joe Rogan level. I'm barely at Bobby Rogan level. Man. But I'm always down to have people on. I mean, you know the deal. Like, I enjoy meeting new people and having conversations and making new friends and stuff. Like some people that I'm cool with, that they're like, I reached out and they never they never said, yeah, I'll get on. Yeah, they just they never respond. So I take it as, I get it. You don't want to be on the podcast or whatever. That's cool. But we still kick it there on Twitter, X, and whatever. Snap Chisel.
Oh, I was listening to the Star Trek review you did with what's your buddy's name? With hey Joey, that guy
Mike.
Yeah, Mike. That guy was awesome, man. He reminds me. He sounds like one of those Jersey, North.
Oh, he's a good dude. Yeah, he's got the East Coast.
Yeah,
he's actually a perfect dude to have on and talk about wrestling. He's a wealth of knowledge.
Fan.
I met him on the brand on the Russo brand. I think it was Discord Patreon. Yeah, shout out to Mike the Hitman.
Forget about it. What are you talking about, eh? I was like, this guy.
Yeah. So you hear that, Mike? We're giving you props. We're giving you a shout out.
Yeah, Mike. Yeah, Mike. You're over with me, Mike.
So that's gonna be it, guys, for this extra butter. As of right now, the 5-year anniversary of the main podcast has ended. March Podcasting Madness has ended. Mike was my last. Mike was my last guest. We had a little bit of a hiccup. I was trying to do 3 guests. All 4 weeks, have a guest, but we came up with just 3 guests this year, and I did a extra butter preview. So if you're on the extra butter feed and you saw that on the main feed, or if you're here because of the main feed show, I appreciate you guys. Thank you very much for giving the sister show, the sister site, some love and attention. I'm rocking and rolling on YouTube. I want to give a shout out to some of the new YouTube subscribers. Trixie Mitchelson.
Oh, that's my girl. Yeah, Trixie.
I was about to ask you. Yeah, is that a friend of yours? Because
yeah.
She joined about a couple weeks ago. So give a shout out to Trixie if she's watching.
What's up, Trixie? Yeah, she's gonna be on. I'm gonna bring her on. She used to be an actress too. She's in some schlocky type movies and stuff. Yeah.
Okay, cool. There was a couple more, but I don't keep up with my I'm so bad at it because I've been stuck at like 196 and it didn't really tell you who adds, or it does, but it just doesn't keep a log. So I mean, I'm like 2 away from 2. I don't know what you get when you get 200 subscribers because I'm trying to get some of that YouTube money. But
man,
it's
how many subs do you have? You got to get to 1,000.
Like 198.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's all fun. It's all I don't
so
care
yeah, so help me get to 1,000, man. Like, subscribe. Hell, every K100 and brand fan that should like and subscribe this joint, man. We're the same people.
Where you at?
We like movies. Y'all like movies, so shit.
Everybody likes movies. Hell, man, you got to be a sour old grump. Yeah, you got to be a sour old grump not to like any sort of movie, whether what year or genre it is.
Yeah, I mean, so it don't even have to be wrestling, man. I mean, the whole premise of Shut Up and Refill My Popcorn is like the shittiest movie in a franchise, and then you spin off from there. So if you're interested in chopping it up and joining us, bro, or joining Nicho or whatever, just reach out.
Oh yeah, reach out on the X. Yeah. But again, I want to thank you for coming on and then chopping it up, talking about this popcorn 10 / Bizarro Poppin My Movie Cherry.
Yeah, man, this was a lot of fun.
And always, guys, go check out CJ on Comic Chops. I saw it on Spotify already. He said it's on YouTube, on Apple and everything.
Yep, all of them.
So go show him some love. And remember, if you ain't laughing, you ain't living. Take care of yourself and the people you love. Look at that. Look at that. Nanu.
Oh, snap. That's it.
Peace.